Good morning, folks. This is, of course, Jamie on a chat trap right here on a Relax Radio. A very good morning to you. Hope you are having yourself an amazing day so far. And if you're not, I just want you to remember that, whatever it is, if you are having a not so great day, if you are not feeling up to par, well, all you got to do is make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relax Radio because we're all about that positive energy. We're all about making sure that you feel energized. So make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relax Radio. Now, one thing that I've been talking to you about continuously is the science of happiness. Now, a lot of you have asked me while I was here on the way to work. I've been talking about this to a lot of my coworkers, a lot of my friends, and they've been like, Jamie, is there truly a science to happiness? And listen, the thing is, let me give you a bit of background information before I get into the topic in itself. Now, when it does come to psychology, when it comes to, the field of psychology as a whole, I feel like for the longest time, the field of psychology was largely focused on addressing negative, investigating what was wrong with us as human beings, or relieving suffering or depression, trauma, addiction. But I feel like over the last decade or so, we've seen a significant shift. Scientists are now turning their attention to what makes people thrive and what thoughts and what actions and behaviors make us more productive at work, happier in our relationships, and more fulfilled at the end of the day. And I feel like the field of psychology in itself has been exploring these kind of topics. And at the end of the day, I feel like in order to speak about this, okay, I actually did read quite a lot of articles and I did do a lot of research. And the question that you asked, that a lot of us ask, is there a science to happiness? And the answer to that is yes, there definitely is a science to happiness. And that I want to start explaining to you by using this statement, okay? Now, this statement I heard some time back, and this actually has stuck with me for a really, really long time. We can't change our genes, but we can change ourselves. Now, hear me out. This sentiment rather, makes a lot of sense. So, I do want you to hear me out for a second. So, can we really train ourselves to become happier? Now, according to science, the answer to that question is yes. Yes, you can train yourself to become happier because our happiness levels is a result of a complex interaction of genes and behaviors and what's going on our lives at a specific moment in time. And while I completely understand that each of us has a genetic set point for happiness in the way we do for our weight. We have the ability to offset it, which brings us to the most important takeaway that I read from this particular scientific research article. You have the power to take control of your happiness by choosing your thoughts, by choosing your behaviors, and also your actions, right? I also read this other thing where it said different types of interventions and exercises and are designed to promote positive emotional qualities such as say kindness and mindfulness suggests that such qualities may be the product of skills that we can learn through training in the way that I don't know, like you always need to practice to get good at a certain skill, be it athletics or playing an instrument. You need to practice to get good at it. In the same way, according to science, according to psychology, you need to practice and train yourself to be happier. Now that brings me to my next question. What exactly is the next question? Is what is a happiness? Now, this is a question that I've had for myself quite a lot because, see, I feel like for the longest time, one thing that I told myself was, oh, happiness is what society tells me happiness is. Having a lot of wealth, being financially stable, having a good degree, maybe getting into a stable relationship. And all of these things are what society tells us happiness is. Now, that's where it becomes an issue. Because, see, the moment that you let somebody else decide for you what happiness is, it starts to get really complicated. Now, trust me, because this is coming from a very personal point of view, because I have been through that, I guess, journey of life. I'm still 20, which I get is quite young. But See, there were moments in my life where I was quite down and depressed, and I think what really helped me to get to the place where I am today, where I'm passionate about so many things, where I'm productive, where I have so many things that I want to accomplish in life. The reason I got to this place in life is just because I figured out what makes me happy. Now, what you need to understand is what makes you happy isn't essentially going to be what makes me happy. Now, what exactly do I mean by that? See, at the end of the day, all of us enjoys our lives differently. Happiness to you is completely different to what happiness is to me. But what I do want to do is to give you a few tips and tricks where you can feel happy, where you can enjoy life on a day to day basis. Now, these do require quite a lot of, I guess, practice, I could say, and these are things that you need to do on a daily basis. At the end of the day, I feel like we all want to be happier. Okay, that's a simple sentence, only 6 words long, and yet every time it crosses my mind, it's a powerful reminder of everything that exists. Okay, and everything that I do in life is because I want to be happier. The only reason I do a job is because I want to be financially stable in order to buy myself things that will make me happy. And at the end of the day, that's basically it for every single one of us. Everything we do is based on if it'll make me happy or not, and that is a question that you need to keep asking yourself. Now, to be happy, you need to enjoy the little things in life. So, what I want to do is be a little supportive and give you a few tips and tricks that you can do to, enjoy the little things in life. Now, the first thing that I do want to tell you is to have a daily ritual around enjoyment. Okay. Now, what exactly do I mean by this? If this doesn't make sense to you as of yet, well, don't worry, it's going to make sense. Just give me a few seconds and hear me out. Okay. Upon waking up, I want you to ask yourself, what do I look forward to most today? And at the end of your day, I want you to ask yourself, what was the most enjoyable part of my day and why? Now, these are two questions that in our busy schedules, when we're stuck in such a rat race of life, we forget to ask ourselves these questions. But when you do ask yourself these questions, you get to focus on what exactly made you happy today. And if you do have recollections, at the end of the day, when you think of your day, and there are certain things that make you unhappy, that gives you negativity, make sure that you take steps to remove these things from your life. Now, I know it's so much easier said than done, but what I want you to do is to let's take it one step further. Okay, now I'm going to be asking you something a little bit bigger, but this is something that I genuinely do want you to try because I've done this and it's been so helpful in my life. Now, one thing that I want you to do is document your enjoyment. What do I mean by this? Okay, so every day after you are done with work, after you've completed your day, just before you go to sleep, I want you to write down one thing you enjoyed about your day on a slip of paper. And then I want you to drop it into a jar. Okay, now I want you to do this for as long as possible. Then at the end of the month or at the end of the year, if you can wait for that long, I want you to take out all these pieces of paper and read to yourself the little things that made you happy. Then I feel like when you do read this, you're not only going to cherish that moment of happiness towards the end of your day, but you're going to relive it either at the end of a month when you reread all those little moments of happiness. Now, I know this sounds really uh, impractical, a lot of you would say, but at the end of the day, trust me, a little does go a long way. So make sure that you do little things like this that will make you happy. Find find ways to enjoy the little things in life. This could be, you know, when you do eat something tasty, take a moment and let that taste linger in your mouth. Feel the sensations and feel how happy that taste makes you feel. I guess what I'm trying to say is make sure that you learn to find enjoyment or learn to find happiness in the little things in life. This could be when you're traveling and you're passing when you're passing your street and you see something, make sure that you take it in fully and let that feeling of happiness wash over you. Now, that's the science of happiness. I sure hope you did learn something, and I sure hope this helps you to get in touch with yourself a little bit more and lead you to your way to happiness.